So I have my AMD system up and running, and I installed OS X Mavericks on it. So this is basically, it's a AMD Hackintosh, and I'll see if I can show you here what I have installed on this thing. So it's version 10.9.1. And if we go into more info, it won't tell you much about it, but it's a 3.5 gigahertz, and it shows as an unknown CPU, 4 gigs of RAM, and AMD 7750. It doesn't actually show it as a 7750, it just shows it as an HD 7000 series graphics card, but that's what it is. So here are the parts that I used in this thing, just to show you real quick. So I used an FX 8320 8-core CPU. I got this really cheap, so I thought I may as well grab it while it was on sale. And like I said, I used a HD 7750, and this one's an Asus. Also got this on sale for pretty cheap. This came from newag.ca. This one came from Canada Computers. So I searched around, found the best deals. And also from Newag is this MSI 970A G46 motherboard, and this is AM3 Plus. Anyway, let's get started, and I'll show you what you need to pull off this AMD Hackintosh. So this isn't going to be a full tutorial because there's so many videos on YouTube already for all these different steps. So I'm just going to link a couple of other videos, like to show the MultiBeast install, because not everybody's going to use MultiBeast. So anyway, that's enough yapping. Let's just get into what you're going to need. So if you're going to use a distro, I don't really know what to tell you about that. I've tried a distro before on my Mountain Lion computer, and I didn't really like it, so I'm not gonna really go into any distro stuff. Everything I used is retail, so you're gonna need a Mac or some kind of Hackintosh. I think it's Snow Leopard or newer, in order to make the MultiBeast installer and download a copy of Mavericks. So if you go the distro way, I can't really guarantee any of this stuff's gonna work. And if you have different hardware than mine, you know, even if you have the same hardware, I guess there's no guarantee. But anyway, so what you're gonna have to do, I'll get connected to my internet connection, and I'll just go to the website you're gonna need. So let's see here, go to Firefox, and I would screen cap this, but one of the problems that I have so far is that the audio as is doesn't work. It does show that it's actually working when you kind of, you know, use the slider, and if I press the volume controls on my keyboard, you can see that it is working, but there's no sound because of just a problem with one of the boot flags I needed to use, and I'll explain that when I start installing. So anyway, so what you need to do is go to a website called TonyMacX86.com. If you're going to do it the same way I'm going to do it, that's what you need to do. So go to the download section, and just a quick warning, you're going to need an account if you go this root, so you can't download anything without an account. So you should probably get MultiBeast. I downloaded it. I have it saved on another flash drive. You're gonna need, depending on which install you're gonna do. If you're gonna try Mountain Lion, I didn't have any luck with Mountain Lion, so I had to go with Mavericks. So you're gonna need MultiBeast, so download that, and you're gonna need MultiBeast. So download all the stuff you're gonna need beforehand, and it makes it a lot easier. So the other thing you're gonna need, and I'm not sure if I have that saved on here, but I'll just show you anyway, because I have it saved on my flash drive. So you're gonna need the Mac whatever kernel. So right here is a copy of the kernel that you're gonna need. So it's a AMD kernel, but it's actually kind of emulating, I guess, the original Intel kernel. So you're gonna need that. I downloaded Chameleon Wizard. Don't know if you really need it. I didn't actually use it, but I downloaded it anyway just in case. More than likely you're gonna need your Wi-Fi caxed. I have an installer because mine is supported but not natively. It came with a disk and it had the Mac installer on it. So let's see, what else will you need? You'll need some way to show hidden files. So I downloaded something called Show All Files, and it makes it a lot easier, because once you're done with your MultiBeast flash drive, you're gonna have to open it up in order to get it to boot. You have to put the AMD kernel in the root of the MultiBeast flash drive, and in order to do that you have to show all the hidden files, because the original Mac kernel or Mach kernel, whatever you want to call it, is actually hidden. So in order to replace it, you have to show the hidden files and delete it or copy it or whatever, and then replace it with your AMD kernel. So anyway, I've already done that. Let's see what else. I guess that's pretty much it, except for any you know, CACs and things like that are specific to your motherboard. So anyway, I think I'm at about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna restart the computer, and we'll get started on the installation. Right here is my MultiBeast. So here's a boot flag, or whatever you call it, that I had to type in. You can try without it, but this part right here is the one that I really needed. npci equals 0 times 2000. With my other graphics card I needed graphics enabler equals no, but with this one I didn't, and the -V verbose mode or whatever, I just put that on there. I don't think you actually have to, but I did so I could see any errors and all that stuff. So let's type that in and get started here. So alrighty, so I'm gonna try it with just -V and npci equals 0 times 2000 and see what happens. I don't think I'm gonna need the graphics enabler equals no, because I'm pretty sure that graphics card is natively supported, so we'll see what happens. Okay. Everything seems good so far. I haven't tried to install with the new graphics card, so I don't know what's really gonna happen, but hopefully all goes well. Yeah, we're good. So, it seems, oh shit, I forgot to mention about something. I'm moving my mouse and nothing's happening. For some reason the USB doesn't work. You have to install the USB through MultiBeast and stuff. So yeah, it's a good thing this happened, because that's one thing that kind of messed me up, and maybe I do, by the looks of it, I also need graphics enabler equals no, probably. So I'll restart again and I'll find my PS2. I have an old PS2 mouse and keyboard, so I don't know what you'll do if you don't have that. Actually, it looks like maybe I don't need graphics enabler equals no, but I do need the PS2 mouse and keyboard. No clue why you need that, but for some reason you do. So as you can see, it did boot, but I'm gonna have to restart because I need a mouse and keyboard control. So anyway, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we're back, and I have the old PS2 mouse and keyboard plugged in, and like I said, I'm not sure exactly why you need that and why the USB doesn't work, but we'll fix that later. And so just in case you're following along and you need this again, it's -v npci equals 0 times 2000 graphics enabler equals now. It took mine a while to get into the installer, but seems that maybe I don't need graphics enabler equals no, so I'm not going to put it in. So there we go. And just a little tip, keep an eye on this this mess that's going on the screen, and just note if any kind of odd looking text rolls by. If you see any errors or anything like that, it could show some kind of problem, but so far I don't see anything. Everything looks fine. And just another note, I didn't do anything special in my BIOS, so I didn't include that. Because if you have a different motherboard, your BIOS is going to be different. So, so yeah, like I said, I didn't do anything special in my BIOS. Everything worked just as it is. So you can see, hopefully, that the mouse is actually working now, which is pretty weird. But anyway, I'm not gonna bitch and complain. It's just lucky that I happen to have the PS2 keyboard and mouse. So alrighty, so what you need to do here is choose your language. Obviously, since I'm speaking English right now, I'm gonna choose English. Next, if you already have your hard drive set up the way you want it, maybe you already had it installed in another Mac or something, you can just click continue, but I have to delete everything that's on mine, so go to disk utility. It's kind of weird using this old PS2 mouse again because it's a little hard to use. So the installation that I want to delete, you probably can't see it because, like I said, the zoom on this thing is shit, but I have a 250 gigabyte Western Digital hard drive, and it has a partition called Mavericks Test. That's the installation I want to keep for now because that's got all the information and software and stuff that I want to transfer to the new install. So this one that says Mavericks is the one that I'm gonna actually delete. So let's go to erase and make sure it's Mac OS X extended journaled, and I'm gonna leave the name the same, so it's Mavericks, and just erase that. And it shouldn't take very long, hopefully. Yeah, it's all done. So I can just get out of there. Click continue, agree, and then choose which hard drive you want to install on. So just click install and wait for about 20 minutes or so, and hopefully it'll say successful. Alrighty, so now that we've rebooted, if you still have your MultiBeast flash drive plugged in, you should see this screen. And hopefully you have Windows too, because we have one more step that we need to do, and we can't boot into the new install without it. So I'm gonna do it on my other Mavericks install, because the software I need on Windows was only a 15-day trial and it's expired, but it should work fine for you if you download it. So hopefully you have Windows. Go on to Windows, download a program called Transmac or something similar, and just run it as administrator, open it up, and delete the original Mac kernel, whatever it's called, and replace it with the new AMD kernel. So anyway, I'm gonna go into my other Mavericks install, and I'll show you how to do it on here. It's basically the same on Windows. You're just using a piece of software to do the same thing, but it's in the root of the drive, so it's pretty easy to find. Okay, so now that we're booted into the OS, of course you're gonna be in Windows, but like I said, it's basically the same idea, except for you'll be using Transmac to do this instead of actually using a Mac installation. But so what we have to do is go into our hard drive, and as you can see, you can't see anything. You can see these files and folders, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that's hidden, so that's why I said download or figure out a way to show hidden files and folders. So here's my software, so I'm gonna just hit show and get rid of that, and there's the original Mac kernel. So what we have to do is replace that. So because we put this Mac kernel already into our MultiBeast drive, we can just copy that. So copy that and go over here and paste it, and the item cannot be replaced because it's invisible. Okie dokie then. So let's just delete it then. Okay, let's see, move to trash. Like I said, you won't have this problem on Windows. If you're using Transmac, all you have to do is make sure you open it, like run it as administrator, and look for the Mac kernel, and just delete it, and then take your other one and put it in there, no problem at all. So we'll just stick that sucker in there, authenticate it. Alrighty, so there's that. Now we can reboot, and hopefully you're able to figure it out. I wish I could have showed you how to do it with Transmac, but my copy's already expired, so I can't really do it. So let's restart. Alrighty, so if you have Windows, all you have to do is either download something like Transmac, or the one I'm going to use is Mac Drive Pro. And the reason I'm going to use Mac Drive Pro is because I've already used up the 15-day trial of Transmac, so it doesn't really matter which one you use, but like I said, my trial's all done, so I'm just gonna use Mac Drive Pro. And as you can see, with Mac Drive Pro, it just shows the drives as just regular drives, so you can open them up and get into them. And the one that you need, it looks to me like maybe they're invisible, the same as they would be. Same as they would be on any other Macs. So I've never used Mac Drive Pro before, so I'm hoping that what I'm gonna be able to do, just open up my computer thing and go to my MultiBeast, and there's my Mac kernel right there. So what I want to do is copy that and then paste it in here. So I want to copy and replace. And then just close all this stuff down. I think I was out of camera a little bit, but I think you probably get the gist. So just restart the computer and you should be good to go, hopefully. Alrighty, so now we can go to Mavericks, and before it would just keep restarting, it wouldn't boot because the Mac kernel that was in there wasn't right. So now that we have our AMD kernel in there, all we have to do is -v and leave a space, and npci equals 0 times 2000. And like I said, I'm not going to bother with the graphics enabler because it doesn't appear that I need it. So hopefully we'll boot in fine. Okay, so this is a long process, but it is an unsupported CPU, so let's just set up all of our stuff. For now, we'll say the computer doesn't connect to the internet because we have to do stuff, and I don't want to transfer anything. And agree, and agree. And I'll just... oh, wrong keyboard. Alright, so we should be good to go, and we'll have to use MultiBeast to set up our devices and stuff, so we'll get that done. And I don't know if I'll go through all that stuff on camera because for one, this video is pretty long as it is, but another thing too is that my hardware is probably going to be different than yours. So anyway, let's get out MultiBeast. I'll start it at least. Open MultiBeast. And of course, I'm gonna do... I did DSDT free. Let's see what they have here. Let's see, third-party SATA, all CPU management. Okay. Yeah, so that'll be good. We'll use EasyBeast. The drivers that I need are the universal Kext, and the one that I use and the only one that'll work for me is this very first one, the Voodoo HDA version 0.2.1. For whatever reason, none of the other ones will work. I always get a kernel panic, so I'll use that. Let's see, bootloader. We'll just use that one, the default. Okay, customize. I don't need graphics enabler. Hibernate mode for desktop. PCI root fix. And I'm not going to do verbose mode. 1080p display mode. Let's see what that says. Yeah, I'm not going to use that. I didn't last time and it works perfectly fine, so let's see, what other drivers do we need? Third-party SATA, yeah, we don't need any of that. We don't need any graphics stuff. Miscellaneous, fake SMC, null CPU management. We need PS2 keyboard and mouse and trackpads. We also need USB 3.0. I think we're gonna need this 8-core doohickey. So network, mine is Realtek, so we'll choose Realtek. Okay, system, I think, pretty sure, yeah, that's all we need. So now all we gotta do is go to build and make sure you pick the proper hard drive up here. Mine's already selected, so I don't need to do anything, and just click install, agree, password. Oh darn, I keep using the wrong damn keyboard. Alrighty, so if all goes well in this step, you should be able to restart, and you'll still need to put in that boot flag the first time, and then I'll show you how to get past doing that every time you boot. So anyway, I'm gonna let this go, and I'll come back. Probably I'll just speed up the video. So MultiBeast is saying that the install was successful, so if we pick the right options and everything works fine, then we should be able to reboot and not have to use the UniBeast installer to boot into our OS. So let's go to computer, and I'll show you what you have to do to boot this thing without putting your boot flags in every single time. So we need to go to Mavericks and extras, and here's our org.chameleon.bootlist, boot.plist I mean. So we need to open that and just check everything, make sure everything's fine. So I have graphics enabler equals no, Ethernet built in, IGP enabler equals yes. Okay, kernel is Mac kernel, kernel flag, PCI root UID equals 1. Okay, so I need to actually put another thing in here. Generate CPU state. I use kernel cache. So I'm gonna put in npci equals 0 times 2000, because I need that in order to boot. And then we'll go up here to file and save, and then just get out of there. Okay, and that should be it. That should be pretty much everything. The rest of the stuff you'll have to try to figure out on your own. If there's something not working, like your Wi-Fi, your audio, things like that, you're gonna have to see what hardware you have and try to find CACs for it.